Pokemon Sword and Shield will undoubtedly still be amazing selling games for Nintendo this year. I have very little doubt about that. But if we are honest, the lead up to these games coming out is honestly kind of insane, and I am not a fan of it. So, okay, first the National Pokedex thing happened and people were upset that not every Pokemon was going to be in the Galar region. After that, people started getting angry about a tree and how maybe the game just doesn't look good as people originally said it did. Alright, cool. And then GameFreak themselves came out and said, hey, the reason why we can't include every Pokemon is because we have way higher quality animations this time. And now, thanks to some Reddit users, we might just have evidence that that isn't the case. Hello everybody, Gabe from SwitchForce here, and like I said at the beginning, this has been a tumultuous lead up to release to say the least, and it is only July. So there is still a lot of time for this to be fixed, and there is still a lot of time for something worse to happen and for people to get more and more upset. Alright, so Nintendo Life had a article today saying, is GameFreak recycling 3DS animations in Pokemon Sword and Shield? Alright, I instantly had to see that because I am just enamored with the vitriol that people are feeling for these games at this point, but this one has me feeling a type of way. Okay, so there is this video on Reddit, courtesy of user Mystic Song on Reddit. You know, you'll have his name here while you watch the video. I'm going to post it for you, and this pretty much speaks for itself. First, let's watch it, and then let's talk about it. Okay, as you see this, it's kind of hard not to laugh because it's the exact same animation. So I don't know what Masuda was referring to when he said that it would require much higher quality animations. Maybe he's talking about Dynamax, but we'll get into that here in a moment. Maybe he's talking about, you know, high quality animations for the new Pokemon, and every Pokemon that has been in other games before is going to have the same canned animations that, of course, don't look anywhere near as pixelated as they do in the 3DS versions, but still the exact same animation. So this is funny and sad at the same time. Sad because you would expect Game Freak to care a little bit more since this is their first big Pokemon game on Switch. Now, I know Let's Go came out and that's big in its own right, but this is a new generation on Switch. Hasn't happened yet. This is your opportunity to just blow it all out and do amazing. Make it the biggest you've ever done. And yeah, they've done the biggest, but that is just Dynamax. And that itself is a little bit funny because a different Reddit user, Yuki Shioji, this one's funny too, says that he just realized Dynamax animations are the same as using normal Pokemon, but just slowed down. And here you can see it for yourself. Down to the opening of his mouth when he lands. This is the exact same animation for Raichu. So no, there is not more high quality animations for the Dynamax either. Yes, when he lands, there's like pieces of rocks and boulders that pop up with some smoke, but that's not really any different animation from Raichu at all. So this is not a good look for Game Freak, to say the least. I'm wondering if they do anything to rectify some of this. One thing that I did want to note though, the game isn't coming until November. They're probably still working on a lot of stuff, and there are things that are going to change. Now, the animations for Pokemon probably isn't one of those things that's going to change, but I do suspect like things like that ugly tree and stuff, or maybe it won't change because it was just one tree. The rest of the game honestly does look beautiful. We played it in person at E3, and I thought it was a very gorgeous game, so that I'm not so worried about. It seems to be this other approach that Game Freak has taken with this game that is a little bit worrisome. Even for me, not being the biggest fan of Pokemon in the world, I recognize that some of this might come off as lazy. Now, I wouldn't dare call Game Freak lazy because I know that making games is extremely, extremely difficult. I don't even think we can begin to imagine how difficult it is to create this game. So I think some leeways does need to be given there. But aside from that, For the first big major entry with a new generation on Switch, I think just scaling your Pokemon to look giant isn't enough for some people. Yes, the battle mechanics change up and things like that, but visually, it's just a way bigger Pokemon. I don't know if it's this easy, but in my head, I just figured them using like a slider on a program somewhere, and then Raichu just gets big, and it's the exact same animation. You change his color a little bit, I guess, for lighting, and boom. I don't know. Regardless, I feel like people are going to be upset at this because, if I was a big Pokemon fan and I played every single incarnation of this and then I'm seeing the same animations for years and years and years and years, yeah, I would feel a way about that because people are saying that this has been happening since Gen 6. These animations stay the same for the most part, and at some point things need to change. And I hope that change comes sooner rather than later. I don't know how much they can do with this, given that so much of this game, at least, is probably set in stone. But I don't know. I hope GameFreak does better going forward. And maybe at the very least, the kind of vibe of the lead up to this game changes. Because right now, there is a lot of toxicity. A lot of people very angry at GameFreak. And I understand why people are like that. But, I do implore you, let's be reasonable. The game is probably still going to be really fun. You decide for yourself if you think it's going to be worth it for you or not. And based on all the evidence we have now, the fact that the Pokemon aren't all going to be there is 100% confirmed. That's not changing, really. And these animations probably aren't changing. So if that's a deal breaker for you, you can make that decision for yourself. But for me, I'm still excited. This is honestly a little bit funny at this point because this game seems to be cursed a little bit, but we will see how it all ends up in November. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video in any way, and I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys. We will see you on the next one. Leave a comment below letting us know what you think, and follow us on Twitter for a bunch more fun. All right, I'm signing off. Goodbye. SwitchForce out.